Hello everyone, I am Dr. Diksha Bhandari and the topic of my lecture is Introduction to Upper Limb. So let's start with the class. The arm is a functional unit of the upper body. It mainly consists of three sections, that is arm, forearm and hand. Arm is called brachium, forearm is called antebrachium and hand is called manus. Now what is the upper limb? So here's a definition of upper limb. Upper limb are the four limbs of an upright, postured tetrapod vertebrate extending from the scapulae and clavicle down to the fingers, including 30 bones. So our upper limb extends from our scapula, which is present at the back of our body, our clavicle, which is also called the collarbone, and from scapula and clavicle it is extending to the fingers. Okay, so from here up till here it is our upper limb, and it mainly includes 30 bones. How it includes 30 bones? So in the arm area, this is called humerus. The bone which is present is called humerus, is only one bone here. Okay, in the arm region there is only one bone. In our forearm region, there are two bones present. The lateral side is radius and medially is ulna. So lateral is this area, means outside area of my forearm. So here the radius is present, and medially, which is the inside area of my forearm, the ulna bone is present here. So two bones are present at forearm. 8 carpal bones are present at the wrist joint. So 8 carpal bones are present here in 2 rows. Okay, 4 bones in each row. After the carpal bones, it is dividing into 5 metacarpal bones. Okay, so carpal bones is dividing into 5 metacarpal bones, and here the MCP joint is making. MCP is metacarpophalangeal joint. Okay, so these are metacarpals here, and they are forming the metacarpophalangeal joint here. So after MCP joint, the bones are dividing into 5 phalanges, 5 digits. So each finger is having 3 sections. Number 1 is the proximal phalanx. This is the middle phalanx. This is the distal phalanx. Okay, so 4 fingers containing 3 phalanx each. So it is 4 into 3 is 4 3s are 12. So 12 phalanx, 12 bones are here in our 4 fingers, except the thumb, because our thumb is having only proximal phalanx and the distal phalanx. It is not containing the middle phalanx here. Okay, so that's how it includes 30 bones in our upper limb. Now we will read about the parts of upper limb, that what are the parts our upper limb is consist of. So it is made up of 4 parts. Number 1 is the shoulder region, number 2 is the arm, number 3 is the forearm, number 4 is the hand. So first we will read about the shoulder region, that what our shoulder region includes. So our shoulder region includes pectoral or breast region, which is present on the front part of the chest. So this is the pectoral region, so it is present on the front part of the chest. The axilla or armpit, our underarm area, is also called axilla. The scapular region, which is present at the back of our body. The scapular region is mainly present at the upper back. Okay, now arm, we will read about arm. It extends from shoulder joint to the elbow. Our arm is extending from the shoulder joint, this is my shoulder joint, up till elbow joint. Okay, so this is the arm. Bone of the arm is the humerus, which articulates with the shoulder to make shoulder joint. So humerus bone basically articulates with the shoulder to form the shoulder joint here. Okay, it allows movement of the arm. So this allows the movement of the arm, and at shoulder joint there are 6 movement which is possible here. So those movements are flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, external rotation and internal rotation. So shoulder joint is the only joint which permits all these movement freely here. Okay, now we will read about forearm. It extends from the elbow to the wrist. So our forearm extends from our elbow to the wrist. So this area is my forearm. Okay, so bones which are present at the forearm are radius and ulna, as I told you earlier also. Now what our hand includes? Hand includes wrist, which is supported by 8 carpal bones, hand supported by 5 metacarpal bones, 5 digits includes thumb and 4 fingers. Each finger is supported by 3 phalanx. Okay, each finger is supported by 3 phalanx, which is proximal phalanx, middle phalanx and distal phalanx, except thumb, because thumb is having only 2 phalanx, which is proximal phalanx and the distal phalanx. Okay, as I told you earlier also. Okay, now before moving forward, I will tell you about some joints which are present here in our arm, forearm and this area. Our upper limb area consists of some joints also. So before moving to the joint, I will let you know that in our body there are 2 types of skeleton. Number 1 is axial skeleton, number 2 is appendicular skeleton. So what comes under axial skeleton? So axial skeleton consists of bones of skull. So this is my skull. So bones of skull, vertebral column, rib cage. So this all comes under axial skeleton. What comes under appendicular skeleton? So my appendicular skeletal system consists of limbs. So there are 2 types of limbs in our body. One is upper limb, one is lower limb. So upper limb articulates with shoulder girdle. Okay, so upper limb articulates basically with the shoulder girdle and lower limb articulates with the pelvic girdle. Okay, so these articulation make only with the help of appendicular skeleton only. Okay, now I will tell you about bones of shoulder girdle, that what are the bones which comes under shoulder girdle. So our shoulder girdle comprised of 2 bones. One is scapula, the other one is clavicle. Okay, so scapula present on the back of our body and it is held in its position by the help of muscles, because scapula has no articulation at the back of our body, so it remains in its original position with the help of the muscles. Okay, because muscles act as an anchor in our body, it keeps the structure in its place. So it it keeps the scapula in its position only. Now clavicle. So clavicle articulates with the SC joint. What is the SC joint? So SC is the sternoclavicular joint. Sterno means the sternum part, clavicle is the clavicular part. So the medial part, medial means the inside part of the clavicle, articulates with the sternum to form the sternoclavicular joint here. Okay, because when we do arm movement, so the clavicle bone gives its contribution by doing slight rolling on this area. So it also articulates, it also comprises with the movement also. So the scapula and clavicle both form the acromioclavicular joint. So the clavicle and scapula, they both join here by forming the acromioclavicular joint. Okay, so this is about